What's up, people? Saiyan Z3 here, back again to do another video, and I'm going to be talking about my thoughts, my feelings, all of that on Fukkatsu no F, all the information that we know so far, the trailer that was recently shown that revealed Golden Frieza, the reveal that it was going to be Frieza that was going to be revived. All of that I'm going to talk about. But before I do that, let me get my charger. One sec. Okay, so we got that. Oh, and another thing is that I had my whole week school had it taken off. So I had the week off in school. Yeah. It's hard for me to like fucking talk English at times, but whatever. But yeah, I'm here to talk about Fukkatsu no F, so let's talk about it. So I'll start from the beginning. I'll start from the beginning when it was revealed that a DBZ movie was going to be announced and all of that. So yeah, let's start with that. Okay, so the first thing when the movie got announced, and I think I made a video on that. I'm pretty sure I did. I was okay with it. I thought with the whole 12 universes thing that the story could go many different ways, right? Okay. But with my experiences and reading Toriyama's interviews and his work, I knew that we wouldn't go through all of those universes. What I did not expect is that we wouldn't even go through one of them. Not even through one of them. And I should have expected that because I know that Toriyama likes to be a troll. He can be a troll at times. And that was obvious with the Super Saiyan God transformation, where he said that while each Saiyan transformation got flashy, for Super Saiyan God, he decided to pare it back to the basics of simplicity. Okay, so the concept of someone being revived was interesting, and all of that was very interesting. And I was excited to see Beerus and Whis again because they're awesome characters. I love the fuck out of them. Beerus, I think, is my favorite antagonist by far out of all of them. Out of the non-canon movie villains, the canon villains, the GT villains, Beerus is by far my favorite antagonist. I wouldn't really call him a villain. My favorite villain is Cell, but my favorite antagonist definitely Beerus. And I'm not counting Vegeta and Piccolo, but yeah, it's Beerus. I was excited to see him again because I kind of guessed that he would make an appearance in the movie. Then it got revealed that Frieza was going to be the one that was going to be revived, and that was weird. When I first learned, I think it was in November when we learned that Frieza was coming back. When I saw that, my reaction was like, what? Frieza? And because it's obvious, like, Goku is a god now and Frieza is Frieza. There's so many people stronger than Frieza now ever after the Namek arc. Freaking Pui Pui and Yakan were stronger than Frieza. Dude, the Kibito Kai was stronger than... Supreme Kai is stronger than Frieza. So, all of that, and the large power gap was very off-putting. Because at first I was like, why Frieza, right? Because he's so weak, but then it just hit me like, oh, of course he's gonna get a power up in this movie to compete with God Goku. He has to. That's what makes sense. He's not gonna bring Frieza back just for him to get like one-shotted. Of course he was gonna get a new form. Of course he was gonna get more powerful. That's obvious. So I guess I was like, okay, Frieza's coming back, and we'll see how he gets the power up. Whatever. Even more interesting than Frieza though was the two soldiers that we saw, Sorbet and Tagoma. Sorbet looks like a koala with the swimming cap, and that's fine. It's whatever. Tagoma looked cool with the double scouter visor, so all that was interesting, and I liked that. And I guess when I first saw the poster in November, what I found interesting was that Frieza's aura was flame. It was like a flame aura, the same kind that Goku had when he transformed into a Super Saiyan God. Now, what's interesting about that flame aura is that Beerus and Whis don't have it. Only Goku does. So I thought that okay, so Frieza's going to get like a transformation or an evolution similar to Super Saiyan God, right? That's what makes sense. So I was like, okay, fine, I can get behind it. I mean, Frieza's weak now, but he's going to get a power up, so we'll see how he gets that power up. And then information started coming in. Revival of F chapter recently came out, and I haven't done a review for that, so I'll talk about it in here. Actually, before I talk about the chapter, I want to talk about some of the characters that we saw and didn't see. So we got information that Gohan looks different, and people were so like disappointed with Gohan's new look. I wasn't, because anyone who's a fan of Gohan knows that after the androids arc, after he kills Cell, it's in his character to just become more normal. If anyone was expecting him to keep the spiky hair with the one bang over it, I mean, I guess that's possible since he has it end of series with the glasses, but it's in his character to be sort of lame and dorky. Like, that's just part of his character, so I didn't have a problem with it. I didn't think it lessened his character. I didn't think it made his character worse. Do I prefer Ultimate Gohan Super Saiyan 2 Cell Games Gohan? Yeah, of course, but I'm not disappointed with like Great Saiyaman and all that stuff. So looking at Gohan, I was just like, okay, it's whatever. And then I read the description when his art was revealed in his official art by Toriyama was revealed in V Jump with the little dialogue sketches and all that. And I saw that Gohan stopped being the Saiyaman, essentially. Yeah, I think that's something that's skipped a lot of people's minds. The fact that Gohan is he's no longer being the Great Saiyaman because now he has Pan. I think in some filler in the anime it showed Videl and Gohan still being Great Saiyaman and Great Saiyan Woman even after they had Pan, but I don't know. I don't know if that was before or after. I'd have to go back and watch, but that was just filler. That wasn't in the manga, at least from what I remember. So yeah, so he stopped being Great Saiyaman, and his tracksuit was basically Bruce Lee's. Everyone likes yellow and black Bruce Lee jumpsuit, the one that he had in his movie. What is it called again? Death something? Fuck, I just forget the name. But yeah, it was basically that. So yeah, I didn't have a problem with Gohan. That's basically it. And I saw that Krillin had shaved his head again. That was fine. I didn't have a problem with it. It's not like it's some big ass inconsistent. Like people were thinking that that Krillin shaving his head was an inconsistency in the film. It's just like what? He has hair, so he can't. He's not allowed to like shave it up. Like I don't want to get into that because that is just so stupid. People were literally calling Krillin shaving his head like a plot hole. Stupid. It's just dumb. Of course, like people are thinking like it's so like out, like it's such a plot hole that Krillin can go and like shave his head and I don't know. Okay, whatever. Fuck it, whatever. Then I saw Piccolo, so I noticed like it was the entire Namek arc cast, and then art and then a trailer started being released for the movie. And I liked Goku's new outfit. Ideally, if I were to design Goku, it would just be him with the blue undershirt, the orange pants, and I guess the blue boots. Either one, the one that he has previously or the one that he has in this movie. The boots that he has in this movie are baller, and I like the longer armbands. I prefer it to the shorter ones. I don't really like wearing like short wristbands. I like the longer ones. If I was designing Goku, I'd give him like the gauntlets. Like the for those of you guys that play a Street Fighter, like Ryu's gauntlets. I want Goku to get those. Like instead of like a wristband, I wanted to have those. That'd be awesome. And Vegeta's new outfit I was digging. Though I felt like it kind of looked weird, like at the waist when I saw like the little like skirt like thing, like man skirt. But I still think it looked cool. And I like his armor too. I don't know. I think I prefer that to the. Well, actually no. I think I prefer this. See, my favorite Vegeta outfits are the one that he wears on Namek, the one with the shoulder protrusions, and the Majin Buu arc outfit. Those two are my favorite outfits. Favorite outfits for him. But yeah, I thought Vegeta looked baller too, and more information and art started coming out for the characters. Like Roshi was going to fight again, which was okay. uh, I didn't know how he was going to compete with the massive Frieza soldier army, considering that they had soldiers like the Ginyu Force and Dodoria and Zarbon, and now Tagoma and Sorbet. But I suppose if I suppose there were some weak aliens out there. So yeah, it's whatever. I didn't think it was too big of a problem that Roshi was fighting aliens in Frieza's army. Didn't really bother me much. So besides, and I liked his redesign. The purple stick, the sandals, the glasses. It was okay. Then Bulma's came out, and I really liked Bulma's new design. She looks like a cowgirl, but then the information said that she was going to fight. And that was the beginning of sort of like my mixed reactions with this movie. Because, don't get me wrong, it can make sense considering that Bulma created Saiyan armor for Vegeta and Trunks that even Cell couldn't dent. So it's possible that she can make some sort of machine that will help her fight, that will do whatever, okay? It's fine. It's whatever. It just threw me off. It just threw me for a loop. I was just thinking like, what the fuck? Like, how is she gonna fight? Makes no fucking whatever. And then and if like a Bulma is fighting, then why isn't Chi-Chi fighting? Because she was like an actual martial artist. I don't know. All that stuff is just it just came off as a little like weird to me. Then I saw that Krillin was going to be a cop, and again, people were going like, "What the fuck is wrong with it's fine. There's nothing wrong with Krillin having a job and being a cop." I don't know why people think that it's not okay. Makes no sense to me. But people's reactions to Gohan and Krillin were just like, I just wanted to smack the shit out of people, but whatever. Anyway, so there was that, and the trailer came out. And then the fan base again was just like sort of like irritating me, or well, I can't really blame them too much, but if they had bothered to look up translations for the first trailer, I'm not talking about the one with Golden Frieza that was just released. I'm talking about like the first one, the one where we see like Frieza coming back, like the first trailer, and okay, actually let me rephrase it. Not the first trailer with like Shenron and Goku powering up as a Super Saiyan. I'm talking about the trailer where we see like Goku and Vegeta in their new outfits. We see Piccolo, we see Frieza, we see him coming out of the revival tank and all that. When we see that trailer, if they bothered to read the Japanese translation of that trailer at the end, when Frieza says the word Shinka, that means he is getting a new form. One of Frieza's iconic lines of dialogue before he transforms into his final form. And he goes like, I can't speak Japanese, but he goes like, "Allow me to show you my evolution, my true form, my true evolution, my final evolution, whatever." That's like one of his iconic lines of dialogue in the manga when he goes into his final form. So in this trailer at the end, he says something similar, but instead of saying like true, final, whatever, he goes my even further evolution. So that right there indicated that Frieza was getting a new form, a new transformation, a new evolution, whatever you want to call it. Well, actually, the right term should be evolution, because it's being treated as an evolution rather than like an entirely new form for Frieza. So, and people were saying like, how is he going to compete with Goku? And it's just like, in the trailer he says that he's getting a new form. It says it right there. Like, I don't know why you guys are thinking like, oh, he's going to like stay the same when he gets revived. Like, of course he isn't. So there was that. Then Jump Festa came out, and there were some comments about the Frieza movie over there. And basically what the Jump Festa panel was, it was a collaboration between Dragon Ball with the Masako Nozawa, who's the voice of Goku, Gohan, Goten, Bardock, Tullus, Turtles in the dub, and Ryosei Nakao, who obviously voices Frieza, but he voices Kula also in the Cooler movies, and he voiced Tambourine in the original Dragon Ball. So yeah, so it was those two, and then Mayumi Tanaka was part of that also, because not only does she voice Kuririn, but she voices Luffy as well. So it was those three with the rest of the Straw Hats, the guys who voiced the Straw Hat crew. Zoro Kazuya Nakai, who voices Tagoma in this movie. Yeah, so it was them, and they did like a panel together at Jump Festa, and basically Masako Nozawa and Ryuzo Nakao started to recite lines of dialogue from the script for the movie, and one of them was that, and one of the striking details about or plot points was that Goku was not going to go Super Saiyan when he fought Frieza, and it revealed that Frieza had trained. So the lines of dialogue went along something. It went along the lines of like, Frieza said something along the lines of, "For the first time in my life, I performed training. What do you guys call training?" And then he says, "Are you sure you won't need to go Super Saiyan?" And then Goku says, "I don't need to." And so that was like the first bit of like plot information that we got, and that was interesting. And my head started to like think about like, okay, like, does that make sense, and what does that mean? And I was like, okay. I mean, Frieza trained, but Goku, he absorbed godly ki, and I guess it's going to be something along the lines of what the Elder Kai did to Gohan, where he unlocked all of Gohan's power and more, beyond Gohan's potential. That's the important detail over there. But Gohan was still able to access all of that power without transforming. And so that's what I thought what was happening with not only with Goku, but potentially with Vegeta. So I was okay with it. It was just like an interesting mechanism, detail to how power scaling or how transformation works, how ki control works in the series. So I was okay with that. So at this point, my only problems are the whole Bulma fighting thing, and the fact that that there's an army out there that is supposed to threaten Earth, though, because although Gohan and Piccolo are part of that, Gohan is stronger than Gohan and Piccolo and Gotenks. They should all be like stronger than those soldiers, in my opinion. But then my head started to think about it, and I was like, how many years has it been since Frieza was defeated? Like 11, 15, around 15 years. So I'm sure, like, since they have heard of Frieza's defeat on Namek, since they have heard, and they've probably heard of the Guinea Force being defeated, who was Frieza's elite squadron, they must have been training on their own, they must have been doing things on their own, so they must have gotten stronger. And it's not like there weren't aliens stronger than Frieza out there. Like I said, Pui Pui and Yakan were stronger than freaking Frieza, evident by Supreme Kai's reaction. So all of that together was or I should use Pui Pui's I should use his English name, Pocus. Yeah, that's his manga name, right? Pocus, I think. So those were like the only problems that I had so far with the movie. And then, like I was just about to talk about it, the chapter came out for Fukkatsu no F, and when films do this, they have manga chapters released, and they reveal like some of the important plot points of certain at certain points in the film. So when I was reading it, I was like, okay, this is probably the beginning because it's chapter 1, and I read it, and I had a very mixed reaction, because apparently Shenron wasn't able to bring back Frieza in his whole body again, and I was thinking like, didn't Purunga do the same? Shouldn't that make sense? And then I started to think about it. I was like, okay, I guess it can make sense, because in the King Piccolo arc, they had to preserve Chiaotzu's, Master Roshi's, and Krillin's bodies, so that when they were revived, they could, like, the soul can transfer to the body, and then they can be alive again. And I was thinking, like, with respect to Purunga, and Purunga was always better at reviving individual people, while Shenron had the benefit of being able to revive a population, and Porunga couldn't. And then obviously Porunga gained that ability in the Majin Buu arc when they were fighting Majin Buu on the World of the Kais because of Muri's modification to the balls. But then I noticed that Shenron had left after one wish again, like in Battle of Gods. And then and I thought that was a plot hole. But then, thanks to while I'm making this video, thanks to some people in the J room, I realized, oh, it's not a plot hole. It's just a leftover wish from the two that they or two or three that they were guaranteed before. What I'm talking about over there is the two or three is that when Dende modified the balls in the Androids arc, he modified it so that it could grant 2 wishes, right? However, when we get to the Majin Buu arc, it's actually revealed that it was 3 wishes. But if one of the 3 wishes was used to revive a large population of people, then the wish count would be reduced to 2. So I was thinking. So then I remembered that, and I remembered how, like, when Porunga was revived on Namek, or how when Shenron was used to revive the people of Namek, specifically the Grand Elder, and obviously when the Grand Elder was revived, Porunga came back, and his one wish was still there. Because remember when Dende, Krillin, and Gohan had summoned Porunga, Porunga had only fulfilled 2 wishes and not 3. So there was still that last wish. So that was still the same thing going on over here with Shenron. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. Then it threw me for another loophole, though, with the whole Frieza having his body in hell, and there was no explanation for that. And the reason I had a problem with this is because if you guys have read Dragon Ball, you guys know that evil people don't tend to keep their bodies. Only good people do. That's why, especially in the case of Majin Vegeta, when he was talking with Piccolo, and it was different in the dub, so I recommend you guys watch the sub or read the manga version of this. Vegeta says that when Vegeta dies against Majin Buu because he's killed too many sinless people, and sinless is just like too extreme a term, but because I'm sure there's no like sinless people out there. Everyone has committed a sin, technically speaking, but this is Dragon Ball. It doesn't really tend to get too philosophical with its or existentialist with its philosophies and stuff. So that's besides the point. But because Vegeta killed too many innocent people, he wouldn't be allowed to keep his body. His soul would be sent through a cleaning machine, if you will, and he would be purified, and all of his memories would be forgotten. That was what his punishment was going to be. And I was thinking, like, okay, so the body, so I guess the body is just destroyed. So then I was reading, and then I saw like Frieza's body in a cocoon in hell, and I was thinking, like, why does he still have his body? I thought only good people have it. And then I saw that the angels were singing, and that they were like, it was supposed to be hilarious, obviously, but then I thought, then I started to think about, like, okay, well, like, why is this happening? And I was just like, okay, Frieza was a terrible person. Even deities feared him. The Kais feared him. So, or at least King Kai, or King Kai feared him. Not Supreme Kai. King Kai and Kaio did. And, I guess because of his presence, because of the fact that he did so much evil stuff, it would be considered more of a torturous, or more of a fatal, or more of a worthy fate for Frieza, rather than for him to be purified. It would be more meaningful for him to be tortured for the rest of eternity in hell, wrapped with the cocoon, with the angels singing over him. Now, of course, it's supposed to be cute, hilarious, but there is that funny part, like, oh, it's supposed to be torturous. It's supposed to drive him mad and crazy, like, but on a hilarious note. So I was okay with that at the end. It was just, we don't have an explanation, like, there is no concrete, like, oh, this is the explanation for why Frieza has his body in hell, but that's just, like, my understanding of the situation. So, again, it's just, like, at this point, there's questionable stuff, but I think there is sufficient reasoning behind said questionable writing. And one thing I was glad was that they had hearkened to the fact that Trunks was the one that had killed Frieza. He was the one that had killed Frieza, and that Frieza was scared of not only Goku, but Goku and Trunks. And that I thought was very important. Because if it had been Vegeta, I would have been throwing some major ass fits, especially since Frieza killed Vegeta. I would have been throwing some major ass fits, some major fits. I would have been so freaking mad. And it was at that point when I realized like it was Goku and Trunks that I started to realize like some other plot points that some other interesting trivia in the series. Krillin had never seen a dragon till Porunga. He had never seen Shenron. He had never seen the dragon in Dragon Ball. He had never seen the dragon. He had never seen the dragon. He had never seen Shenron. The first time he saw a dragon arise from the Dragon Balls was on Namek with Porunga. Another thing that I realized was that Frieza does not realize Vegeta is a Super Saiyan. He only knows Goku and Trunks are, and by that extension, he doesn't know that Gohan is a Super Saiyan either. So there's that. And speaking about Gohan being going Super Saiyan, I'm going to talk about that. And then the third interesting piece of trivia that I realized was that Bulma still hadn't seen Frieza. Bulma has still not seen Frieza. If you guys go back to the part where Mecha Frieza is coming with King Cold, down to Earth to wipe them all out and they basically have no chance because Goku isn't there. Bulma comes along for the ride and says like, I haven't seen Frieza. I've never seen Frieza. I didn't get to see him on Namek, and I was like, oh yeah, you're right about that. And then Trunks kills Frieza, and Bulma still doesn't get to see him. So it's just like, okay, yeah, Bulma still has not seen Frieza, so she might get to see him in this movie. And that was just like an interesting piece of trivia. So, yeah. About Gohan going Super Saiyan, I was wondering why he was going Super Saiyan at all, because the only reason he went Super Saiyan in Battle of Gods was for Goku's Super Saiyan God ritual. That was it. But over here, it seems like he's transforming to fight people, and I don't know. I didn't know how I felt about that. Because it didn't make sense to me, because earlier a V-Jump scan had been released saying that Gohan had been training with Piccolo, and that's part of the reason why his tracksuit was green. And another thing about his whole tracksuit was that Gohan couldn't find his purple gi, so he just chose the tracksuit anyway. But whatever. Anyway, Gohan going Super Saiyan didn't make much sense to me because he had been training with Piccolo. However, it then dawned on me that because he isn't one to train, he probably lost power, kind of like how he did earlier in the Androids arc, or after the 7-year period in between the Androids arc and the start of the Majin Buu arc. He had lost power, so he's probably still needed that ability to transform because he just wasn't as strong as he once was before. And okay, fine, that makes sense. Whatever. He's lost the ability to access all that ki in his base state, and yeah, fine, whatever. It makes sense. Go ahead with it. But yeah, back to the chapter. Then Frieza gets revived with the whole, like I said, the whole pieces thing, and I was like, okay, fine, it can sort of make sense. Like I said before, with the whole preservation of bodies and all of that. What I did find very interesting and trollish though was that after Frieza was revived in the rejuvenation chamber in that chapter, he killed Togoma. And I don't have a problem with it, but what I do have a problem with is Toei marketing Togoma as though he was going to be some big part of the movie. Now, here's my whole feelings on the whole Togoma killing thing. Because when Fukkatsu no F, though, when the poster was revealed, besides Frieza, it showed Sorbet and Togoma as like the two new characters in the series, right? And Togoma, because he was like on the poster, and because he was being shown in so much promotional posters and just so much promotion in general, I thought that he was going to be a core part of the story. but he then gets killed right at the beginning. But I didn't have a problem with that because I knew it was just Toriyama just trolling. But what I did have a problem with was why, if that was the case, why was Toei promoting him so, like, why were they just showcasing him so much as like this important part of the plot? They're not known to be trolling. Toei, I don't think, is known to be a trolling company, at least from my experience. And then the voice cast came out, and I saw that it was Kazuya Nakai who was voicing Tagoma. And that's where I really got interested, because Kazuya Nakai doesn't really voice insignificant characters, at least from what I remember. Maybe he voices like an insignificant character here and there, but because it is Tagoma and because he was highly touted, I was thinking like, okay, so Kazuya Nakai voices him, alright, and he voices Hijikata and Zoro and Date Masamune and Mugen from Samurai Champloo, and I was like, okay, so maybe he might still be an important character, even though he was blasted into space at the beginning of the movie. So that led me to speculate that Tagoma might show up towards the end of the movie doing some crazy shit, or ending the movie off with some sort of like cliffhanger or something. So that was just my feelings about his character. Sorbet was okay. It was whatever. The interesting thing about Sorbet was his whole ring. Like, he was like someone from the Lantern Corps. Because apparently he attacks with that. So yeah, whatever. But it was at this point that I started to realize that, where are the other cast members? Where's Goten and Trunks? And where's Android 18 and Marin? And we finally saw Android 18 and Marin, but it's just like, why is Marin still a kid? This is arguably like 6 months, 2 years, whatever, after Battle of Gods, so why the fuck do they still look the same? And another person that I was waiting to see, obviously, was Goten and Trunks, because along with Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, and Piccolo, they were the main characters of the Majin Buu arc. Well, and they were more main characters in the Majin Buu arc than Piccolo himself, if you ask me, so... and I was just thinking of the possibility, because Trunks looks like future Trunks, and Goten has Goku's hairstyle, so it's just like, what if Frieza first comes to Earth and he sees Goten and Trunks, and like, what would his character interaction be with them? I really wanted to see that. I really wanted to like, hey, why are you guys so small, or something like that. I really wanted to see that. And still, even now, March 5th, 2015, there is no information about Goten and Trunks, and that it just feels like a missed opportunity to me. We saw Ten Shinhan, we saw Tien. He looks baller. He looks like he's about to do some shit, because he does like a Kikoho in the trailer, and he's blasting Frieza soldiers, right? But then there's no Chaozu, and we see Chaozu in the Revival of F trailer, or in the chapter. But Chaozu's not aging. And I always like that about Chaozu. He still looks like he's 15 years old, but technically he's a year older than, he's a year older than Goku. And there's no Yamcha either. Like, where's Yamcha? I don't think we haven't even seen Chi-Chi yet either. So, yeah. All those things, like I said, there were some questionable moments, but I found workaways around them, and then the recent trailer came out, and some recent screenshots from the trailer came out, and this is where I started to seriously doubt the movie. This is where I started to have mixed reactions about it. So, the trailer starts out with Trunks slashing Frieza in half and him blasting him, and that's awesome. I love the fact that they remember Trunks killed Frieza. It's that is good. That is good. I would have been so pissed if it was just Frieza and just Goku. I'm so glad that they expressed the fact that Trunks was the one that killed Frieza, and he is part of his revenge. Good, good, good. Actually, no. Before I get to the trailer, I have to talk about the last thing that was said in the chapter, the Revival of F chapter. Frieza was going to train for 4 months, and he was going to get stronger than Beerus and Majin Buu and Goku. That came across as too big a stretch to me. And let me explain, before I get to that, I want to talk about. I'm glad that Frieza knows who Majin Buu is, because it would make sense that someone who's ravaged the entire universe, who's destroyed hundreds and thousands of planets and stars or whatever, he should be an urban legend. And apparently Cold told Frieza about Beerus and Majin Buu. The fact that Frieza should always stay away from Beerus and Majin Buu. Those are the two people he should stay away from. So, that was good. That was good that Frieza knows about that. What was too much of a stretch was the whole 4 months thing. And I was skeptical, but then I realized we don't know how he's going to train. And I started to think about like power-ups in the series ever since King Piccolo, and I realized that every single power-up, since Goku drank some black holy poison water in the King Piccolo arc, every single power-up has been massive. Piccolo was killed by Nappa, yet trained with King Kai, then fused with Nail, who had a power level of 42,000. And he became strong enough to fight second form Frieza, who had a power level of over 1 million. Goku's Zenkai and Vegeta's Zenkai on Namek were massive. When Goku went Kaioken, he was only above 180,000. And that probably wasn't his max. He probably could have gone even further. But then the whole thing with Ginyu happens, and then he heals, in the healing chamber. And then when he's healed, he has a power level of over 3 million. So I realized that like every single Zenkai and every single power-up in the series has always been massive. And then I also realized that the Saiyans compared to Frieza's race, or the Saiyans compared to Frieza himself, are like ants. Bardock and King Vegeta had a power level of 10,000 at best? Oh yeah, it was at 10,000. So if Frieza was almost as powerful as somewhat almost as powerful as a regular Super Saiyan without training, I was thinking like, okay, give him 4 months, like what is this guy gonna do? Like how strong is this guy gonna get? So it does make sense. But the plausibility of him reaching that level of strength, I think, will hinge on how he trains. Because if he just goes to some desolate planet and he's punching and kicking or blasting ki at nothing for 4 months, then I'm not sure like that's going to be sufficient enough an explanation for why Frieza got stronger than someone like Goku, who at this point now is training with Vegeta. Especially since he's training with Whis, who's the strongest character in the entire series. Or canon-wise, at least. So, yeah. I mean, Frieza in 4 months is going to get stronger than Cell, Gohan, Piccolo, Kibito Kai, Vegito. Gogeta's not canon, but probably Vegito, Majin Buu, Beerus, Goku, and Vegeta himself. It's just like, is he going to get stronger than Whis now? I don't know, it's just too massive a power-up. It's the biggest power-up by far in the series, and I just hope we get a sufficient enough explanation for why he gets that strong. So yeah, back to the trailer. the one that was released. Gohan and Piccolo get knocked out by Frieza soldiers. I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know how to feel about that. I really don't. Because Gohan losing to a Frieza soldier, someone who beat Majin Buu arguably in one of his strongest forms, his base form, loses to a Frieza soldier. I mean, I know the guy's gotten weaker, probably has gotten weaker, but come on. And that's all the more weird considering that in the trailer we see Tien doing a Kikoho on said Frieza soldiers. So how the fuck is Gohan's weaker than Tien? But again, we don't know the context for why that happened to Gohan. So let's not jump to conclusions, but it's just hard not to jump to conclusions at this point. Then we see this red looking Frieza soldier who looks a lot different from the traditional Frieza soldiers for some reason. The fact that he doesn't have a scouter and all that. And he punches Piccolo, and I don't know if he beats him. I don't know if he beats Gohan or if he beats Piccolo, but he does punch him down to the ground. And it looks like it does look like it is Sorbet's transformed state because of the nose. So that might be Sorbet in a transformed version of himself. So yeah, there's that. So, but I don't know. But considering that, I don't know if Sorbet is that strong to do that. But like I said, like I was saying earlier in the video, probably, like I said, it's been 15 years since Frieza and the Ginyu Force have lost, so it's not too much of a stretch of the imagination to believe that the other Frieza soldiers have been training as well. So there's that. What was also interesting about the trailer was that Jocko was in the trailer. So now 100%, without a doubt, Dragon Ball Minus and Jocko the Galactic Patrolman are part of the Dragon Ball universe, and that's fine because Akira Toriyama did the same thing with Arale in Dragon Ball Part 1 when he had Arale appear like with Goku and when she beat General Blue. So it's not the first time like a one shot that he's made can exist in the same universe as Dragon Ball. I think they all exist in the same universe. Dragon Ball, obviously, now Jocko and oh wow, I just farted. Dragon Ball, Jocko, and Arale all exist in the same universe. Maybe Sandland does, maybe Kentoki does. All those one shots, Nico Majin. Nico Majin has to exist in the same universe also. So I like the connectivity with the other one shots. But I'm just thinking like what Jocko is doing there, and because he is a galactic patrolman, he's probably monitoring Frieza's forces, and we do realize that he did come to Earth to kill Goku. So yeah, there's that. But I wonder if Bulma's sister is going to Tights, if she's going to make an appearance. We'll see. But yeah, besides all of that, we'll get to the meat of the trailer. Frieza's final form, or his final evolution. And people, I think, were expecting some sort of like extravagant, something like Cooler's final form. But here's the thing: one, Cooler's not canon. Two, Toriyama designed Cooler for a movie. It's not like he's going to remember something from like 20 years ago. And three, if you guys need to read the explanation for why he designed Super Saiyan God the way that he did. He flat out said that with each Saiyan transformation, the transformation got more flashy, right? Super Saiyan 3 with the long hair and the electricity. So for Super Saiyan God, he decided to pare it down back to simplicity so that it was just red hair and red eyes. And I'm fine with that. So I assumed that the same thing was going to happen for Frieza, and lo and behold, I was right. I told everyone that don't expect an extravagant transformation. Do not expect it. You're not going to get a cooler form. You're not going to get something that looks like Shredder. You're not going to get something that looks different, too different. If Goku as a god does not, if his overall design does not look too different, the same thing is going to happen with Frieza. The same thing is going to happen with Frieza. Now the color scheme when I first saw it, gold and purple, looked a little weird. It looked a little weird. But then I was thinking to myself and I was like, okay, the Lakers use that color scheme, the LSU Tigers use that color scheme, and then I realized that, well, he looks like Thanos. So the color scheme grew on me the more that I looked at it, the more that I rewatched the trailer after hours or whatever, and I was like, okay, the colors look fine. The colors look fine. They really do. I just kind of would have preferred if the gold was not as shiny, if it was more if it was more like dull, lustrous, whatever the word is. Like shiny gold with like dark purple, not sure how I feel about that. But I do like the look. I do. And then I see Frieza beat the shit out of Goku, and I knew that was going to happen because of screenshots on the Fukkatsu no F website. But then what like really surprised me was when Vegeta came into the picture. Now I had already suspected that Vegeta was probably going to beat Frieza at the end of the movie, just because everything about Goku, like, or I mean, I don't know. Actually, I don't know. I was just suspecting that Vegeta was going to beat Frieza because he and Goku were like the main stars of the movie. So I was assuming that, okay, Vegeta is probably going to be the one to beat Frieza this time because Goku always gets to beat the main villain. So Vegeta is probably going to get to do it this time. What I didn't expect was Frieza then saying the lines, "Vegeta-san, why don't I make you the next commander of my army?" I was like, why is he saying that? He killed him on Namek after he quote-unquote betrayed him. So why is he asking him to be the commander again? I don't know if that makes much sense. Then what happens is that the narrator says, what is the worst outcome at the end of the battle? And then you see Frieza beat Goku. He steps on Goku's heart, apparently, I guess where he death beams him, because there's a hole in Goku's gi, so I guess he death beams him there, and then Frieza steps on it. And then all of a sudden Vegeta steps in front of him, looks down on him, and then he says, "Your history." Then we get some CGI scene of the Earth blowing up, and then you hear Goku scream like he's dying. And that really threw me for a loop. What just happened? Because the trailer gave me the impression that Vegeta does accept Frieza's offer, but I'm just thinking, like, why would Vegeta why would he turn evil? Why would he turn evil? And then obviously, like, my mind instantly went to the whole double agent shit, like, oh, he's getting close to Frieza so that he can kill him from the inside, yada yada yada. But that's just like, Vegeta isn't even stronger than Goku right now. What chance does he have to kill Frieza if Goku can't? And then I was thinking, like, okay, so then Vegeta gets his power up pretty early in the movie. If he is the one to beat Frieza, so that entire ending of the trailer just confused the shit out of me. And then I started to listen to that theme song. Like, first of all, I don't like the whole F by Maximum the Hormone. I like the instrumental. And I like the chorus, the freeze, like, I like that part, but everything else just fucking sucks. And it's not, like, again, you can have electric guitar and metal in Dragon Ball Z. You can have it. It's entirely possible. In fact, that's, the Budokai OSTs, almost all of it is that. Almost all of it is electric guitar. And that's what I would prefer the OST for DBZ to be. More than Falconer, more than Kikuchi, more than Yamamoto. And of course, I want my orchestra in there, but I didn't like F the song. I don't like it. I only like the instrumental, and I only like the chorus. And I know it's going to be used as a battle song, but ugh, not my cup of tea. Then I started to listen to the theme song by Momoiro Clover Z, which is called Chikao no Z, Vow Z, and that started to play when we saw like Jocko running along the cliff and everything. And I was just like, what the fuck? What kind of shit is that? I already wasn't too big of... I mean, Hero by Flow for Battle of Gods was okay. That was okay. This is worse. The music was worse in my opinion. I mean, if there's anything, definitely the F by Maximum the Hormone is better. That is better than the Momoiro Clover Z song that started playing, but Jesus, like that trailer just made me feel so... threw me for a loop. Gave me a very mixed reaction because already there was questionable writing with Bulma fighting, with Frieza training for 4 months, and now this whole thing about Vegeta essentially turning evil and Gohan and Piccolo losing to Frieza soldiers. I mean, again, we'll have to see like how it happens before we judge. But all the questionable stuff that's happening so far, it's hard not to jump to conclusions. It's hard not to jump to conclusions. And it's at this point that I realized that with Dragon Ball Minus, with some of the mishaps in Battle of Gods, with the 2008 Jump OVA special, I don't want Toriyama writing any more Dragon Ball unless he has a hard-ass editor. Unless he has some hard-ass editor, like Toyotaro or Toibo, or someone, just someone, that can make sure that he's not contradicting his own story. Or potentially contradicting his own story. Potentially. We don't know yet. That is what I want at this point. Just, I want an editor for Toriyama. I don't care. I don't care if he doesn't want it or not. Just give him an editor. Just give him an editor because it's so maddening. It's so frustrating to think that Dragon Ball has all these supposed inconsistencies, even though I think there's only like, there's a couple, but they aren't too major. But there's always these minor inconsistencies happening in the story, and I don't want that anymore as a fan. I don't want that. I want everything to make sense. I don't want that. It's just frustrating to go to some product and then like some pre-established fact in the series is kind of like retconned, just in some way. It's not. I mean, there is a workaway around it. There is a workaway around it. There is a plausible explanation behind that. But you don't want that to begin with. You don't want that to begin with. I just want consistency in the story. I want explanation for like why things happen. If things change, I want explanation why. Because it's high time that Toriyama started paying attention to some of the more smaller details in his story. And I know, like, oh, he's cheerful, oh, he glosses over things, oh, he's kind of like petty, he does things like on a whim, if you will. And that's fine. But when I heard the reasoning for bringing Frieza back was listening to F by Maximum the Hormone at a concert, at a concert, I was like, okay, I should expect this from Toriyama because I know the guy pretty well through his interviews. That's actually like a that's a strange thing for me to say, for me to say I know him well through interviews, but it's just like, that is such a petty reason. But it's at the end of the day, it's just something that you have to accept because it is Toriyama. That's just what he does at the end of the day. So yeah, I talked for 54 minutes. I don't know how I did it on everything regarding Fukkatsu no F. I think everything. Expectations for the movie, I have no clue how they're going to beat Frieza. I think Vegeta's going to beat Frieza. Again, like I said, my whole perception of the movie is just mixed at this point. It's so freaking mixed. Like, there's good and then there's bad, but Potentially that bad could be turned into good with substantial explanation, which I hope I'm really hoping we get. I'm really hoping we get. But I'm not keeping my expectations too high. I'm not. Hopes for the movie. I hope we get touched. I hope we get insight into Frieza's culture and his race. I hope we see Vegeta. Well, yeah, I actually I don't have a preference between Goku or Vegeta who beats Frieza. If Vegeta beats Frieza, though, if Vegeta beats Frieza, and actually I don't think Frieza is going to die. I don't think he's going to. I don't think he's going to get killed. I don't think Frieza is being brought back for like a 2 hour, 1 hour, whatever movie, only for him to be killed. I don't think that's happening. But what I do think is happening is that if what I do want to happen is that if Vegeta does beat Frieza, it's not for revenge for the Saiyans. It's not for revenge for the Saiyans. And everyone who's known me has talked. I've talked about this millions of times in my Vegeta character analysis, in various live streams. Vegeta does not love the Saiyans. He did not love the Saiyans on Namek. He did not want Raditz to be revived. He killed Nappa by his own hand. And then even after he died on Namek, he still didn't love Bulma and Trunks until he trained with Trunks in the hyperbolic time chamber. So don't give me that shit that he should kill Frieza for revenge for revenge for the Saiyans, because he should not do that. It would go against his character. Well, actually, no. No. Let me take that back. It wouldn't go against his character now, because Vegeta is now a being or a person capable of loving someone other than himself. Knowing Vegeta's character now, if I'm Vegeta now and I'm looking like at the Saiyans, I'm not loving them, but I'm not loving them. But I'm not exactly hating them either. I'm not loving the Saiyans, but I'm not hating the Saiyans either. And what I mean by that is, I'm only respecting the Saiyans because of what Frieza did to them. Vegeta, if he beats Frieza, he should do it to restore the Saiyans' honor, but not because he loves his Saiyan. Not because he loves the Saiyans. Not because he loves the Saiyans. Loving the Saiyan race, a race that was almost as bad as Frieza, that conquered planets, that killed innocent people, that sold lives and stuff, that sold lives into slavery and all that stuff. They were terrible people. The Saiyans were not good people. Vegeta loving that would completely go against everything that he did in the Majin Buu arc. Everything. He should not do it. If any Saiyan related thing comes into his supposed victory against Frieza, it should be to restore the honor of the Saiyans, like what Goku did for them on Namek. And then again, that would just be like a double redundancy. That would just be a yeah, I think that's the right word, double redundancy. Because Goku has already restored the Saiyans' honor by beating Frieza on Namek. At the same time, Vegeta should not beat Frieza for himself. Vegeta in the Buu arc knows that Vegeta in the Namek arc is not a good person. He was selfish. He looked out for no one but himself. He killed innocent Namekians and planets, or innocent Namekians and people. He was not one bit remorseful for it. Vegeta in the Namek arc was not a good person. Beating Frieza for his personal pride and dignity? No. That is bullshit. And if that does happen, Vegeta is no longer one of the best characters in the show. I'm telling you right now, if Vegeta beats Frieza because of how Frieza shredded his personal honor or his personal pride and dignity on Namek, he is one of the worst characters in the series. Actually, no, I'll take that back. Not one of the worst. Well, he's a mediocre character if that happens. I'm telling you right now, he's a mediocre character if that happens. Mediocre. I do not want that for him. He should not. If he beats Frieza, I'm like waving my finger like so much. But if that happens, that should not happen. That should not happen. After all the shit that he's talked in the series and getting his ass kicked, no, 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 no. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Mediocre character if that happens. I'm telling you right now. Mediocre. Mediocre. And I don't want that for him because arguably I enjoyed Vegeta's character more in Battle of Gods than I did Goku's. There were problems I had with Goku there was one problem. It was just like a small problem that I had with Goku in Battle of Gods. And it was when he turned Super Saiyan 3, he wasn't his usual stoic self. And when he got annoyed at Beerus when he did the little thing, I was just like, no, that is not Goku, that is not Goku, that is not Goku. That's not Goku. That's not him. I'm sorry, but that's not him. That's not him. When Raccoon stuck the middle finger at him on Namek, Goku just he just replied with a smile. And you can argue that Raccoon was weaker than Goku and Beerus is stronger than Goku here, but no, Goku would still not be the sort of person to get like because he's taunting him. It's bullshit. Like irritated someone is taunting him, like no. That's fucking bullshit. And I know it's just like a small moment, but that moment just irritated the fuck out of me. Irritated the fuck out of me. But yeah, you heard it. I mean, you guys heard what I just said, right? I said I probably enjoyed Vegeta's character more in Battle of Gods than I did Goku's. Just because of that one scene. But yeah, I don't know what role Beerus and Whis are going to play. I have no clue what they're going to do. Frieza getting stronger than Beerus. Wow, in 4 months. Jesus Christ. I don't know what to feel about that. I mean, Goku already is Vegeta alone is enough of a stretch, but Goku, I mean, we see it happen. He beats Goku in the trailer. But Whis and Beerus, god damn, I have no clue what role they're gonna play. I'm still hoping for Goten and Trunks. Considering that future Trunks killed Frieza, I'm hoping that he makes an appearance in the movie. Even if he doesn't attend the actual fight, just like some scene with future Trunks I want. And what else? Goku's screaming at the end sounded like Masako Nozawa's scream when she played Tullus in movie number 3, Tree of Might, and when Tullus died. It sounded like that. So Goku might die, and I know this is a series where death can be rectified pretty easily. I know that, but that still doesn't lessen the fact that that scream really made me feel sad for Goku, because not many screams in anime can do that. Like, if you guys have watched Gurren Lagann, Kamina in episode 8 or 9, when that happens, don't want to spoil anybody, but when that happens, I felt for Kamina there, just like I felt for Goku over here. I'm telling you, man, listen. Lust in Full Metal Alchemist when she was getting burned, oh my god. I mean, she was a bastard, but like, hearing Laura Bailey scream, like, oh my god, it's... Screaming can do that to people. Anyway. I think I've talked about everything I could about Fukkatsu no F. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Tell me what you guys think about the movie. I'll probably do a live stream soon. And I think it's like 25 days or yeah, it's actually very short before the first screening of the movie comes out. So we'll be getting spoilers towards the end of March, before April 18th. So yeah, 3 weeks away. 3 weeks away, we'll get the we'll start getting some spoilers from the movie. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. And yeah, I just have mixed feelings about the movie so far. Tell me what you guys think. Thank you guys for watching. Peace, and have a nice day.